Okay, so here's measures 8 and 9 of All Along the Watchtower. This is how I'm doing it. These are the right hand fingers that I've chosen to use. It's not necessarily the right way. It's not the wrong way. You kind of go about it however you want. So for this, I'm going to start out with the trickiest part. At least it was tricky for me. I'm still working on this. I'm still growing into the technique. I'm not really a bass player. So looking at beat 4 of measure 8, let's start there. So we're coming out of this B power chord, okay? So we've got a root, perfect fifth, and an octave. So the first technique that I think we should be able to do is I'm just going to grab a perfect fourth here with my pinky on the 4th fret of the G string and my ring finger on the 4th fret of the D string. And check out the thumb. The thumb should travel with the plucking finger. So if I'm plucking on the D string, my thumb is resting on the A string. If I'm plucking on the A string, my thumb is resting on the low E. And the thumb travels with the plucking finger. It's always on the adjacent string in an ideal situation. You can't always do that, but that's kind of the ideal that I aim for. So looking at beat 4 on measure 8, the thumb is resting on the D string. I'm going to strike the G string, which is this note B up here on my left hand. I'm fretting those 2 4th frets, like we said. I'm going to strike through. See, and when I strike through, the finger that's striking hits the thumb. And I'm going to follow this up with my pointer doing the same thing. So we've got this on the first 2 16th notes of beat 4. We've got 4 E. Okay, let's do that. And as long as that's comfortable, you could go do that a little bit. See how I'm alternating? Middle, pointer. And now I'm going to drag my pointer down 1 string. It's 4 E and. So we've got middle, pointer, and then pull the pointer. I drag it down like a sweet pick thing. Middle, pointer, drag the pointer. So this is the this is the part that's given me the most trouble. So you might just want to do something like, I'm going to mute it with my left hand. So I might go middle, pointer, drag. I'm just trying to get some reps here. Middle, pointer, drag. David Liebman says playing an instrument is like taking an unnatural thing and doing it so much that it feels natural. So to get this to sound natural, it's got to feel natural. And the only way to make it feel natural is to put in some hours doing this. So I might sit here and do this. See, I'm going middle, pointer, drag. Middle, pointer, drag. Almost sounds like a horse gallop. Okay, so before I drive you crazy with that. So next, we're going to work backwards in measure 8. So I want to take a look at the upbeat of beat 3. So again, grabbing this power chord, root, 5th, octave. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the power chord, and I'm going to strike the perfect 5th, or the 4th fret of the D string, with the pointer of my right hand. So I've got pointer, and then I'm going to travel up to the G string, so make sure that thumb moves up with you. And I'm going to strike it with my middle finger. And we're going to do the whole beat 4 like we just talked about. So here it is. We've got pointer, middle, pointer, and then I'm going to pull the pointer down. We're going to drag it. So altogether we've got pointer, middle, pointer, and drag the pointer. Let's do a little bit of this. So we've got pointer, middle, pointer, drag. And now this chord, just squeezing this thing with the pinky might start to hurt your hand like it does mine. So what I'm going to do is just mute the strings, and then I'm going to work on the right hand, because the right hand is the trouble thing for me. So I'm going to go pointer on the D, middle finger on the G, pointer on the G, and then pull down. Again, pointer on the D, middle on the G, pointer on the G, drag the pointer down. Make sure your thumb is traveling. So we've got pointer, middle, pointer, pull. Pointer, middle, pointer, pull. So let's do a few reps like that. And you're just hanging out with this, trying to get this comfortable with the right hand. This is not the rhythm yet. We're just trying to get the proper fingers to do the work. And again, if you work out something that's a little better for your right hand, or if you want to play it with a pick, to each their own. Okay, so if that's comfortable, let's start on the root of the B. So now we're on beat 3 of measure 8. So now I'm coming back to this power chord, and I'm going to strike this note B with my middle finger of my right hand. So I've got, and the thumb should be resting on the low E because I'm striking on the A string. So I've got my middle finger, and then the thumb travels to the A string, and then I strike with my pointer on the D string. So let's check that out. So we've got middle, pointer. See how the thumb's traveling? Middle, pointer. Okay, so we've got middle, pointer, and now the thumb travels to the D string because I'm going to strike through the G string with my middle. Let's check that out. So we've got middle, pointer, middle. Again, middle, pointer, middle. Again, so we've got middle, pointer, middle, and then we're going to follow through, hit that pointer, and then drag the pointer. So putting all of beat 3 and beat 4 together should sound like this. And if I were to count, we've got 3 and 4 E and 3 and 4 E and I'll call out the right hand fingers. We've got middle, pointer, drag the pointer. Middle, pointer, pull the pointer. Now give the left hand a break. We could do this with just the right hand muting string. So we've got middle, pointer, pull. Middle, pointer, pull. And another little trick I was doing, because playing on the 2nd fret was just really starting to hurt my hand, I would capo up on the 4th fret, and then when I mute it, the strings are down as though I'm fretting. So then my right hand is not getting acclimated to the action or the distance of the strings off the fretboard with open strings. So now if I put the capo on the 4th fret, now the strings are down a little bit more as though I were squeezing the chord. So, and I would still mute it. So we've got middle, pointer, pull the pointer. 3 and 4 E and 3 and 4 E and 3 and. Well, you can see I'm kind of letting the cat out of the bag there. I pulled again on the downbeat of beat 1 of measure 9. So let's do all of that. The pointer is going to keep dragging all the way down through the A string. So we've got middle, pointer, pull the pointer, pull it again on the open A string. So we've got this, middle, pointer, pull the pointer, pull it again. So altogether it should sound like this if I mute the strings. And a little faster. And. Okay, so now before we get too far ahead of ourselves, Let's add that 16th note of beat 2 preceding beat 3. So it's an open A string, and we're going to strike that with the pointer of the right hand. So we've got open A, and then we're going to get into our B power chord, and we're going to play what we've just covered. So let's recap what we just covered, but grabbing the B power chord instead of muting strings. We've got middle on the B, traveling with the thumb, we strike F sharp with the pointer. Traveling with the thumb, we strike the octave B with our middle, then we follow it up with our pointer, and then we pull our pointer down to the F sharp, and now we let go of our B power chord, and we continue to pull this pointer down through the open A string. So let's do a few reps of it as it applies to the tune. So here we go, we've got middle, pointer, middle, pointer, drag the pointer, open A. Again. One more time. Middle, pointer, pull the pointer, let go of the B power chord, pull through the open A. And now getting into this figure, getting into that, we're going to giddy up using the open A string, looking at the 16th note of beat 2 preceding beat 3. So we're going to strike that open A with our pointer. So we've got open A with the pointer. See the thumb resting on the low E. And then we're going into the figure that we just practiced. So we've got this. So we got open A, and then I go into what we just did. Okay, let's do it a few times. So 2E and O, 3 and 4E and 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 2E and a 3 and 4E and 1. And a little faster. 2, 3, ready, and. Okay, so let's finish measure 8 by adding the first 3 notes, which are all just C sharps. So I'm going to start with my pointer because I made this arbitrary rule so far. I might break that rule later, but so far what we've covered in measure 6 and 7 and now 8 and 9, I'm trying to start on beat 1 with my pointer. I just created a rule. You could do whatever you want. I don't always follow this if I'm playing in a real situation, but for this, as a practice exercise, I'm starting on my pointer. So we're going to play C sharp with the pointer, and then we're going to follow it up with the middle. See, my thumb's resting on the low E because I'm striking on the A string. So we're going to go 1 and 2. See, I'm just simply alternating pointer, middle, pointer. 1 and 2. And then I'm double striking with my pointer because I want to be able to land into what we just covered. So we got 1 and 2, and then what we just covered. Pointer, middle, pointer, middle, pointer, drag the pointer, open A. Okay, let's do that again. 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1. Again, 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1. Feel free, like I do this a lot, I just play a quarter note on beat 1. So I got 1, 2, and 3, and 4E and a 1. Pick your poison. Okay, let's finish this off. So now we're into measure 9, and we're coming out of this drag. And the pointer is going to continue to drag through the open E string. So let's try all of that just from the open A. So getting into this thing, this hard part. See how I keep dragging the pointer? So the pointer did a complete sweep through all 4 strings. So if I were to count this, we've got 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1 and. Okay, and at this point, the pointer just did a lot of work. So now I'm going to get the middle finger to strike this F sharp. So taking it from this F sharp on beat 2 of measure 9, I play measure 9 identically to measure 7. I like to give it that little 16th note on beat 2. So the only thing that's different is how we got to the open A and the open E. So in measure 9, we got to it by dragging this pointer. And then I strike measure 2 with my middle. And then I play measure 9 identically to measure 7 from beat 2 onward. So even though we don't have the 16th note written in measure 9, I still play it anyway. So I give it that little giddy up with my middle. And then I do the walk up. And it lands me on the downbeat of measure 10 with my pointer of my right hand. So I play measure 9 identical to 7, just so that I can get to the downbeat of measure 10 with the pointer of my right hand. So let's loop it a couple times, measures 8 and 9. So we've got this, 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4 and 1. Let's do it again. We've got 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4 and 1. Again, 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4 and 1. And again, we've got 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4 and 1. So the hard part is really the 16th note of beat 2 of measure 8 going to the downbeat of beat 2 in measure 9, the F sharp. So if we were to loop that little section, which is what that's how I'm practicing it. That's what I like to just practice. So it's pointer, middle, pointer, middle, pointer, pull the pointer on the open A, pull the pointer on the open E, and then I strike the F sharp with my middle finger of the right hand. Okay, so that's measures 8 and 9.